for. So we've just I released 44, which was I'd ironed out all the bugs and it had a nice kind of auto jump feature, which maintained dodge velocity or your air velocity or your current velocity into jumps. So that was kind of nifty and kind of handy and kind of fun. Tried it out on Blitz. Definitely improves that game mode in my opinion. Short of a hoverboard or something, you need something to get yourself back into the action fast, and that's kind of the idea behind it is just kind of getting places faster. It's not necessarily useful for combat, but anyway, just moving forward, introduced it, had some responses in the modding channel of the Unreal Tournament Discord, and Fiaru, brought up some good points about having a more physics-based movement, and I realized, yeah, what I'd done was still really linear and basic and kind of Sonic the Hedgehog style stuff, really. Well, actually, more Mario style because Sonic the Hedgehog is kind of physics-based, but it was kind of a cartoon version of what I wanted to achieve, basically. So I thought about it, and let's press play here. Well, let's just talk about what I've done first, actually. So I'm in the Unreal Tournament editor, working on blueprints of this is all work in progress, so it's kind of messy. So the main thing I've done is I've now if you want to have kind of physics-based movement which is kind of uncapped, it has to be kept within reason by the added impulses and added velocities and things that actions do. And the thing about Unreal Tournaments being set up in a very linear way now is all the impulses are quite they're set up with that kind of linear system where everything gets reset once it's kind of done. So for example, the dodge impulse being 1600, which is the speed you dodge at, like a side dodge, I think, which is what I'll talk about from now on when I'm talking about dodge. I'm talking about a side dodge is 1600, and the vertical height is 500. Now, if you want to have a system where, let's say, you continually dodged or dodged, then jumped, then dodged again, and if you did it with the right timing, you can maintain your velocity. You'd be constantly adding on 1600 to whatever you've got, and it's kind of not really realistic because you'd be going at 5000 pretty quickly, which is more than 5 times your normal base walk speed. So I thought about how this could work. So I did a couple little things. I put the dodge horizontal impulse down to 1300, which makes it like 20% slower. But I also raised the vertical impulse by like 15%, which gave it kind of the same distance, a bit slower feeling, a bit more bouncy, but it doesn't really break maps as much. Some kind of wall slope dodges, like ramp dodges, will be a bit harder. Um, or perhaps not. I don't know how the vertical impulse will play into that. But and together with reducing the amount of taking off the auto jump feature, and having a kind of short window once you've landed to basically chain more air-based moves onto your momentum. I'm pretty happy with the initial results. Let me just actually turn this down. How do I do that? Is that gonna work? Okay. So basically, in this map, this is kind. Oh my god. So this is a barely dodgeable gap in this map normally, and yeah, so it's pretty similar. It actually might, the way it's sort of set up might actually get you further. This is another one. Yeah, so actually what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to turn that down further. Because what I really want to achieve is the chaining ability. I'm going to go for as slow a dodge as I can, because these get added to each other, basically, rather than tweaking that further. So. Alright, so that feels pretty much kind of where it should. So let me kind of show you how it works then. So it does feel slower already, actually. If you were to jump, dodge, jump, you can see my speed up in the top left here. So 875 is the base walk speed. Okay. Oh, it feels actually really hard. So you get up to about, so I'm traveling at like 1600 there. 1200. Oh, I've got 1900 coming down there. So that's kind of nice. I think that's it's not easy to achieve. It's not something you can maintain all over the place. It's something that you can do if you ideally you can kind of come career over here. Yeah, I've got the I've set this too hard. I think the timing is too hard. So let me just finding all this shit. Here it is. Put it back to, let's say, 3. It's just an arbitrary number, but it affects. I feel like I might be lagging a bit too. Yeah. The size of the window is okay. See, this movie is actually harder because this relies on the dodge impulse. Yeah, that's nice. If you can do stuff like that once you know a map. Traveling at, say, 1300. So if I want to go down here, you know, I could, you basically wall dodge, and then once you've wall dodged twice, you're traveling at like 1600, 1800 if you jump properly, like jump quickly. It's a little bit difficult for me to do this here because there's quite a bit of input lag with the editor right now. The cool thing about auto jump was that if you had a ramp, you'd be just holding space and it'd just. Let's put auto jump on and see what happens. Well, auto jump, yeah, for this kind of situation, well, it just automatically maintains 100% of your momentum. So. You know, it's making it, I mean, there's almost no point to make it non-linear if you're going to use auto jump, because you're just going to be using the max values all the time anyway, basically, as long as you dodge on the right places, I guess. Is you auto jump's nice because you can remove when you land. If you look at the number up in the top left, you can see when I land from a dodge, it's okay. That's pretty quick the way it's reducing to walk speed. But if you do have an auto jump feature, you can basically make it instantaneous, but then still maintain all of the momentum. Whereas if you're going to offer a window for people to jump, then you don't want to close it that quickly, which means when you land, you can feel this kind of slippery landing feeling where you're landing at speed. Where is that? Put this on to do that. Let's just try with that. Okay, so you can see when I land, it's slowing down over about half a second, which is enough to make people feel like, oh my god, what's happening? Like, people don't notice this mutator that much when that's not happening, but when that's happening, they feel like game speed is on or something. Okay, so I've turned off auto jump and I've opened up the window for chaining. Oh my god. I'm just gonna run around like this for a bit because it's kind of fun. So you can see on a land it's still really fast, which is basically a problem. So this is with a 1200, so that's like a 75% of the dodge impulse. Vanilla one. I'll load up a more familiar map. I'm just gonna save that. Some of the textures have been changed with my editor misadventures. Yeah, feels crazy. So even with the dodge impulse reduced to 1200, you can see the problem that once you chain a few together with this kind of... If anyone can think of a solution to this kind of problem, this would be good. But, I mean, a solution is obviously reducing the window to do it. But that kind of makes it feel frustrating. Having auto jump on makes it feel like there's no point to have it not linear, because I can't get it now. Doing my brain in. Let's go back into the here. Okay. So let's close this window off a bit to 2000. Feeling a bit better. So let's do a dodge and land. Not really noticing. Up to 2000 there for a bit. Yeah, this feels better. Like, good compromise. But let's just check how dodge is working, because, you know, if it breaks everything, then there's no point, because people will be like, what the hell is this? So this is makeable in vanilla, and it doesn't seem to be currently. Let's see what happens when I do this trick jump. Yeah, roughly similar. Okay, so it's just a little bit less. Feels like okay, that's yeah, well, I mean, most people do a wall dodge there. I guess. Wait, what was the jump? Okay, let's try this one. Still doable. Still doable. So it's changed it minimally, and you can feel this kind of. You can get some. It's not a bad little compromise here. Have to be, I guess, I mean, when people play UT and have good movement, they're always looking for surfaces to dodge off and it's quiet. Because, you know, dodging is a way to quickly get your walk speed up. That was pretty cool. So let's see how easy it is to maintain this kind of velocity. I think I lose, effectively I'm losing 200 with every jump. I think if you timed it really well, you could realistically, if you were really good at this, probably expect to lose between 50 and 100 with every jump. But I think maybe around, yeah, 100 to 200 is realistic. So a dodge is adding on, should be adding on a whole, yeah, it's, not 100% sure if it's adding on the whole dodge impulse every time. Should be. And you could feel when I hit the ground there that I was still at speed for a bit longer than I expected to be. Because you expect to be back at walking speed as soon as you're let's try this and see if this works. Ooh. Yeah. Bit iffy. People are not gonna like it. And of course, if you further increase the dodge vertical velocity, that feels bad, because it's basically like a further jump then. That's a jump, that's a dodge. So a dodge is only slightly less high than the jump right now. It's usually a jump, I think, is 700, and the dodge is usually 500 high. So this is, you know, up to 600 now. But you can see that you wouldn't want to add too much more horizontal momentum when you're chaining them together. Anyway, so I think I've introduced the problem at hand to you. Let me know what you think, if you have any solutions.